and address this issue with all of the levers that are available to us.
Ms. Trump and the governor and First Lady heard sometimes halting stories, some from women who said they didn't even realize they were victims of abuse.
I became a stripper at 18, and then by the time I was 19 years old, I was working in a massage parlor for my best friend's mom, and she sold me for the first time for sex. And so for me, that was my normal. I didn't know any different. I didn't know any better.
I was beaten for 10 years. Had to have sex to survive.
I gotta give you a hug.
The embrace was both personal and political for an issue advocates say has been overlooked for too long.
Some very emotional testimonies from those women. As part of the efforts to combat human trafficking here in Georgia, the governor and his wife announced a plan this week to train state workers to identify signs. 78,000 workers in all will undergo that training. The National Human Trafficking Hotline says it was contacted by about hundreds of cases here in Georgia in 2018. Now, if you or someone you know needs help, you can call that hotline 24/7. That number on your screen, 888-373-7888.
Hey everybody, I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11Alive Storm Trackers. If you're watching on TV right now, you might be wondering, what is that phone doing standing here on that stand? Well, I'm in the middle of a Facebook Live right now. If you would like to join that weather conversation, just go to my Facebook page, Chris Holcomb 11Alive, and you can see this Facebook Live. I'm talking to people like Dale Klaus just now says, Hello Creek is over the bank and all surrounding areas are flooded. Cannot see the bank in the Morning Creek area of North Fayette County. Thank you for that, Dale. We also have some people say, Raditha Dempsey says it's not raining in Bowden at the moment. So we're getting a lot of folks telling us what they see in their area. And you can see what we're watching where we have a few areas of light rain that are down to the south right now. I-20 southward and over on the east side where we have just a few scattered showers, but nothing really major going through our area right now. We still have another night to get through a flood watch. Take a look at this. It's over North Georgia, Metro Atlanta, and areas down to the south and east of us. This is a live look in Coweta County where we had some showers earlier. You can see the streets are still dry, but no active rain going on right now in the Fayette County area. So here's what we're watching as we go through the rest of the nighttime hours. That flood watch is in effect through tomorrow morning. The good news is we'll begin to see the showers. We'll still have some rain tomorrow, but not heavy rain, not flooding rain. So that's why we think they're going to let that expire tomorrow. But still watching tonight with any of those showers, the runoff from that could make some creeks and streams rise still tonight, even though the rain is kind of tapering off a little bit tonight. We'll talk more about those rain chances for tomorrow, when they will finally move out of here and when it finally gets cold. That's coming up.
All right, Chris, see you in a couple of minutes, sir. Delta coming under scrutiny tonight after a plane dumped fuel on dozens of people at an elementary school playground. That story tops our speed feed tonight. This video shows Los Angeles first responders helping those 40 kids and adults. Rescuers say they suffered skin irritations, but no one needed to be taken to the hospital. The airline sent us a statement this afternoon saying the plane was trying to make an emergency landing to LAX because of an engine issue just after taking off from Shanghai, China, and it dumped the fuel to reduce the weight. It landed without problem. Delta says it is in touch with the Los Angeles World Airports and the LA Fire Department about the situation. Well, the man seen right here kicking a cat is now going to spend some time behind bars. Here is Jamari Davenport pleaded guilty to animal cruelty. He was arrested after video surfaced of him violently kicking a cat at a Fulton County gas station back in 2018. That cat was never found. Davenport was sentenced to 6 months behind bars. He must also serve 240 hours of community service. Anheuser-Busch is expanding its Cartersville brewery to the tune of $85 million. The facility brews more than 20 of the company's brands, in addition to emergency drinking water for disaster relief. Officials say the expansion will create new brewing capabilities as well as 12 new jobs in the next 3 years.
In the past 13 months, 6 inmates have died while in custody at the Cobb County Jail. Now, one inmate's family is filing a wrongful death lawsuit against the sheriff's office and the jail's current medical provider, Wellstar. Our Joe Henke has a copy of the lawsuit.
The lawsuit the family of Reginald Wilson filed claims while he needed immediate psychiatric attention while inside the Cobb County Jail, he never was seen by a psychiatrist. Cobb County Sheriff Neil Warren, Wellstar Health System, as well as several deputies and medical professionals are listed as defendants. The lawsuit details Wilson being booked into the jail, a nurse noting him having bipolar disorder and acting bizarre, and then during his time as an inmate, several others noted Wilson showing signs of psychosis. The plaintiffs claim, though, at no point did the jail psychiatrist see Wilson. The lawsuit also alleges while in custody, Wilson smeared his own feces around his cell and failed to eat or drink. The defendants entirely failed to provide him with adequate supervision or care during this time, the plaintiffs claim. Instead, they merely documented his downward spiral until his death. Wilson's death on December 29, 2018 would be followed by 5 more inmate deaths at the jail in 2019. The county medical examiner ruled Wilson's death to be from natural causes. As for the other inmates, one was ruled accidental, another a suicide, another from natural causes, and 2 are still being investigated. In Wilson's autopsy, the medical examiner wrote Wilson died from dehydration due to bipolar disorder and mentioned certain mental illnesses can lead to dehydration. The ME described the jail providing adequate food and water, but Wilson consumed only a small amount. Video the ME watched showed Wilson being very active in his cell, but over time became sluggish and eventually became unresponsive.
Wilson's family also claims in the suit that the Cobb County Sheriff's Office refuses to release video and documents related to his death, which they believe is in violation of Georgia's Open Records Act. We contacted both the Sheriff's Office and Wellstar today about the lawsuit. Both said they don't discuss active lawsuits.
And you know, this Cobb County case is eerily similar to a lawsuit filed over an inmate's death in Rockdale County. A grand jury found the staff failed to recognize Shali Tilson's declining mental state while he was being held behind bars. But its report concluded that no single person was responsible for his death. Like the Cobb County case, Tilson's official cause of death was related to dehydration. You can read more about the case and the video release showing Tilson's increasingly erratic behavior in his final days on 11alive.com.
It will no longer be known as SunTrust Park. The Atlanta Braves will now call Truist Park home. 11 Alive's Shanu Hur is live at the new Truist Park with more on the day's big swap out. A lot of change going on out there, Shanu.
Yeah, lots of change. Today was a big day. SunTrust Park is now officially Truist Park, but last week, crews actually started taking down some of those SunTrust Park signs, and while they work, some fans came out here to see what was going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Truist Park.
However you feel about it, it's official. The name of the Atlanta Braves, SunTrust Park, is now Truist Park.
We have millions of people that come through here every year, and we're going to continue to have that special moment.
The Braves and Truist Financial unveiled the name Tuesday, but last week, crews already started taking down some SunTrust Park signs, and fans came to watch.
I did get used to the SunTrust name. I like the SunTrust name.
Fans like Robert Wolf says it'll take some time for him to get used to calling this park a different name. Being a Braves fan since the 70s, getting used to a new name is now almost like a routine.
Been through a lot of changes. Fulton County Stadium, then Turner Field, and now SunTrust, the name is changing, but at least the park's not changing.
Fans on Twitter, well, their approach was a little more harsh. Shannon tweeted, she's disappointed. Braves needed something more exciting. Casey Covington wants a good nickname, so we don't have to call it Truist Park. Then there's Tony, who can sum up his thoughts in just these 2 emojis. But other fans, they couldn't care less about the name. There are more important things on their minds.
I just want the Braves to win a World Series. I just want a ring. You can name it whatever you want if you get a World Series.
Yeah, he just wants some wins there. If you come out to the park right now, you'll still see lots of SunTrust Park signs, but the Braves...
All right, some trouble with Shanu out there, but we still continue on with the story because fans do not seem to like this name change. It might take some getting used to, but where did the company go wrong? Our Ryan Kruger sat down with an expert whose job it is to name companies. We're going to hear from him coming up in the next hour of 11 Alive Primetime. Still to come as well for you tonight, a possible solution to Georgia's teachers struggling to pay off those student loan debts. The proposal that could eliminate it altogether.
And Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb is live on Facebook as we speak, taking all of your weather questions. You can join that conversation right now on his Facebook page. We're going to catch up with him right after the break. And don't forget, we're streaming right now on 11Alive's YouTube channel. Subscribe and join the conversation in the community section. We've got more 11Alive news, prime time after the break.
Concert announcements, you really never know what you're going to get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hints. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun, and they're convenient, but they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere.
A push to help teachers struggling to pay off their student loans. If House Bill 736 passes, future educator loans would be forgiven if they agree to teach at low-performing schools across the state. Latasha Givens is breaking down the bill and what it could mean for education in Georgia.
I was the first one to go to college in my family. Always.
Over 30 years ago, State Representative Gerald Green says he had to borrow money to go to college. And when he graduated with mounting student loan debt, it was forgiven.
I'm actually a product of the teaching field, and I had loan forgiveness when I came to teach in the rural areas of southwest Georgia.
This is one reason Green and 4 others reintroduced House Bill 736 that would allow students with a teaching degree a chance to have their loans paid off.
The intent of the bill is to be able to incentivize those educators.
Our teachers are aging out, and it's hard to recruit them, and particularly in those turnaround schools.
The downside is that we can't do it for everyone. It shouldn't just be for turnaround schools. It should be for all public schools.
To qualify for loan forgiveness, teachers must have a degree from a Georgia school, they must teach at a turnaround school, they must commit to 5 years of teaching, they must have a teaching degree or certification, and they must teach STEM courses.
This bill right here, this is what should happen.
Verdelia Turner, president of Georgia Federation of Teachers, says she's concerned the bill only focuses on what's labeled as turnaround schools.
Why not just say teachers who work in Title I schools? Because the federal government has defined lower income schools as Title I schools.
Turner, who also had her student loans forgiven after teaching for a few years, says if legislators address the issues current teachers have, like class size and state testing, less teachers would leave education.
Authors of the bill also say not having to pay back those loans could help offset the lower salary that some entry-level educators have. This bill is a budget item that would have to make it through the entire legislature before becoming law. We, of course, want to hear what you have to say about a loan forgiveness program for teachers here in Georgia. We have the story up right now on our 11Alive Facebook page, so let us know what you think. Good idea or not? What else can we be doing? You can do that in the comments.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11Alive Storm Trackers. I'm continuing my discussion here on Facebook Live. That's why you see my phone right here. I've been talking to folks on Facebook Live for the past 17 minutes or so. We started at right about 9 o'clock. Patty Timmons says ready for a big snow. We don't see that in our forecast for this week, but we do have colder air coming in for next week. Let's see here. A lot of people asking about snow. Letitia Cornejo says really hoping to see some snow this year. And then we also have Sandy Honeycat saying, is there any chance for ice storms this year? So a lot of people wanting to know about snow or ice. The problem is we have plenty of moisture right now, but it's really warm. And then next week it gets really cold, but we dry out a little bit. Let's talk about that moisture that's in the form of liquid precip right now in the form of rain. Some of these light showers that we have here over on the east side, you can see those along I-20 and south of that. Really just light stuff on the east side of the Atlanta, out toward Madison, Newton County, down to the south in Henry County, Pike Lamar County, seeing some of those showers. Eatonton, the county's pretty much covered up, as well as Jasper County, where we see a lot of those showers around. We'll put this into motion. You can see how we had some of those showers earlier today, and then those have been moving on off to the east. And as these move to the east, we're going to see some breaks, but there is a little more moisture back into Alabama. That'll feed in tonight. I don't think we're going to have rain like we had last night in some spots where we had thunder and lightning and strong winds around, but we will see a few showers around, but not anything particularly heavy. So let me show you what we're watching. We still have that flood watch that is in effect. Here's a live look right now. As you can see here in the area of Rome, where the roads are still wet, but no active rain falling in the Rome area right now. So it's going to be an okay night for you guys up in Rome, where we're going to see just a couple little showers possible, mainly light stuff, potentially during those overnight hours tonight. So let me show you what we're watching. We talked earlier about that flash flood watch still in effect. It's going to expire tomorrow morning. We still will see a few showers tomorrow, but we don't really expect flooding rain, so that's why we think we're going to let that still expire tomorrow morning. But still, with the rain around, even though it's not active right now, from the showers earlier that some of you had, it's still adding runoff to some creeks and streams. A lot of folks on my Facebook Live have been commenting about some creeks and streams in their area, especially on the south side in North Fayette, that are above their, coming up out of their banks there. We had a report earlier of some water along the Lee Road area of I-20 that is on the road as well. So here's a look at our rain totals. Not a lot of extra rain overnight, and then through the day tomorrow, we're seeing the green color here, which is indicating generally a ½ inch or less of rain. So we're not going to see big time rain totals tomorrow. Into tomorrow night, maybe as another wave comes in, there'll be some pockets of heavier rain that might cause a ½ inch to an inch and a half of additional rain over parts of North Georgia. But we're starting to see things hopefully taper off, especially when we get into Thursday. So tomorrow, scattered showers, maybe a thunder shower around, 73 degrees for a high temperature. And in North Georgia, that potential that a couple of those storms could turn strong. Here you see tonight, not a lot of action overnight. We'll have clouds, some mist and drizzle, scattered showers, and then a couple of showers around during the afternoon hours tomorrow too. You see the QR code right here? What I want you to do, get your phone out, open up your camera, point it at that QR code, and that will help you download the 11Alive app. That way you can track these showers as they move through our area, when they move out, and you can set it for alerts to alert you when any watches or warnings are issued. Tomorrow, some of those showers still with us, and then tomorrow night, watching that last band of rain that'll move through, that could have some thunder and lightning with it. And then thankfully by Thursday, we'll see the conditions improving a little bit as we see the rain ending, decreasing clouds, 65 for high, cooler on Friday with some clouds around at 55. And then on Saturday, another round of showers move in with highs near 58 degrees, and then clearing Sunday, a high of 53. Look how it gets cold into next week. For the King holiday, chilly, a high of only 47. We're down to 29 Tuesday with a high of only 43 with mostly sunny skies. So when the cold air is here, the moisture is gone.
All right, Chris, thanks a lot. You know, as we prepare to remember Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., much of next week's celebration, birthday celebration, will revolve around those 4 words. Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech is an important part of our American history. Prior to the march on Washington, D.C., he did not plan to speak those words. 11Alive's Jerry Carnes connects Dr. King's speech to a famous gospel singer.
They are iconic words that became the rallying cry of the civil rights movement. But it was not Dr. Martin Luther King's plan to speak those words during the 1963 March on Washington. Here's the connection between Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech and famed gospel singer Mahalia Jackson. Jackson and Dr. King were good friends. The two met at the 1956 National Baptist Convention. Afterward, Jackson would appear at rallies and demonstrations, often singing prior to speeches delivered by Dr. King. When he wrote the speech that he planned to deliver at the famous rally in front of the Washington Monument, Dr. King did not include the words, "I have a dream." It was Jackson who shouted to her friend, "Tell them about the dream, Martin." Observers say at that point, King put his written text aside and delivered the words often repeated today. Dr. King had talked of his dream at prior speeches. His friend, the gospel singer, thought it would be an appropriate message to the 250,000 people who gathered in Washington.
All right, straight ahead. Georgia is the sickest state in the country. This is all according to a new report. How you can protect your family, your kids, and yourself from the flu.
You never know what you're going to get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hintz. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
And they're convenient.
But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
your voice? It is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together, our voices grow. Together, we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
And cliffhangers.
You know.
We have a health alert to share with you tonight. A new study says Georgia is the sickest state in America right now. That's because almost 8% of the population is dealing with flu-like symptoms. That data coming from health tech company Kinsa Health. Now, you can see from this map the majority of the country, including Georgia, is in the widespread flu category. Joining me now, 11Alive medical correspondent Dr. Sujatha Reddy. Aside from the study, the flu's top of mind. So what can we do to avoid sharing it and catching it?
Yeah, and that's great advice because it is out there. One thing is if you think you have symptoms and you're not feeling well, stay home. Also, if you're going to be around people and you think you're coming down or you do have symptoms, try to keep a distance between people, so not too close. Wash hands, cover sneezes and coughs. If you're the person who doesn't have symptoms and you're at work, try to avoid touching your eyes, face, and mouth because that's the way the flu virus gets into your body. And one thing that can help your immune system, eat well, sleep well, and try to be active and exercise, and that may help your immune system.
What about preventing the flu in the first place?
Yeah, the best answer there is going to be the flu vaccine. Even if you get the flu, once you've had the vaccine, you're going to avoid the serious and deadly complications by getting the flu shot.
When is the best time to get the flu shot?
Yeah, great question. And I have to say, right now, the main thing is it is not too late. If you haven't gotten the vaccine, flu season can go till March, April. Absolutely. If you haven't gotten it, go today, go tomorrow, get your shot.
And there's a particular strain that's hitting kids and young people very hard right now. What do we know about that?
Yeah, there are actually 2 strains that are affecting people under 65, which is not typical. And what we're seeing is in the country right now, already, there have been double the pediatric deaths this year compared to this time last year. So yes, if you haven't gotten your family vaccinated, do that now as well.
All right, Dr. Reddy, good advice. Thank you so much for being with us.
All right, thanks a lot, ladies. Still to come in prime time, the legendary Capricorn Sound Studios gets a facelift. We're going to take a look inside next.
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie!
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm gonna be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alert.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'm gonna do. No, my movement ain't fading. You could assume what the doing was
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A Scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Chesley.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't
Chesley. Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
finish. We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find...
All right, welcome back, everyone. A Clayton County mom sentenced to life for killing her 11-year-old daughter may soon get out on parole, worrying and angering other family members.
Martha Ann Johnson was sentenced to life in prison, in part based on an admission to police that she killed her daughter, Jenny Ann. 30 years later, Jenny Ann's half-siblings want to keep Johnson in prison, saying they believe Johnson killed her 3 other children, too, even though she was never convicted in their deaths.
11Alive's Elwin Lopez spoke with the victim's half-brother, who's pleading with the state not to let the mother out.
I'm doing everything. That's my sister.
Shane Wright fighting in memory of his half-sister, Jenny Ann Wright. Jenny Ann was just 11 years old when she was killed in 1982. Her cause of death listed as asphyxiation. 7 years later, in 1989, her mom, Martha Ann Johnson, admitted to police she killed Jenny Ann and her son, J.W. Taylor, but denied killing her other 2 children. Their official causes of death were listed as SIDS and a seizure disorder. She was convicted in Jenny Ann's death and sentenced to life.
She never once told anybody in that courtroom that she was sorry.
Now, after 30 years, the Clayton DA's office says, against its own objections, the parole board has tentatively granted Martha Ann Johnson parole. In a letter the DA's office shared with us, the board writes, quote, "The parole board has considered the information you provided and has decided to proceed with the inmate's parole. You will be notified of our actual release date when it is set." In an email, the parole board tells us this is subject to change, adding that if she is released, it will give a 72-hour notification to involved parties, and reiterating a final release decision has not been made. Wright says he thought life in prison meant she would never step outside of it again.
I want them to carry her body in a bag out of that prison, throw her in the woods, and catch her on fire.
That was Elwin Lopez.
I wouldn't even waste the dirt.
Elwin Lopez reporting for us tonight. The parole board says they denied Johnson's parole 5 times before this tentative grant.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11Alive Storm Trackers. We're tracking some showers around tonight. These are not as heavy as what we had last night. You know, last night on the south side, we were tracking some of those heavier rainstorms that came through with thunder and lightning. We don't have any thunder and lightning with this. It's just mainly some light rain. And this is kind of the last bit of this organized area of rain that is moving through for the nighttime hours. Light stuff in Rockdale County, Newton County, Morgan County, Jasper, Putnam counties, excuse me, Butts County getting in on some of that. But back here in Atlanta, we're actually drying out a little bit. Now, there's a little bit of mist and drizzle around. Some of the folks on Facebook Live tonight were reporting a little bit of fog in some areas too, but no real active rain coming down at this hour. And you can see how that's moving off to the east. And if we go out to the west a little more, not a real organized area of rain, but just still some moisture back south of Birmingham. Some of that still may feed through overnight. We're still calling for just a chance for a few showers overnight, but nothing particularly heavy. Nothing severe, just some added showers around. Take a look at what we're watching on the bigger picture right now. You can see here some of those rainfall amounts. Now, this is our Doppler radar estimating how much rain has fallen, and you can see these greens and yellows and oranges on the south side. That's where we had some of the heavier rain, but even on the north side here, the greens indicating spots where we've seen over an inch of rain. Where you get into the blues here to the north and east of this city, a little bit less than an inch. And then on the south side, we have generally rainfall totals from today, or the past 24 hours here, almost 2 inches down south of Peachtree City. In the Newton County area, about 1.5 inches over to the west, over not far off from the Madison area. A little bit more than an inch of rain has fallen there too. And that's why we have that flood watching effect through tomorrow morning. Stay with us. We will see those rain chances still here tomorrow, but we're not calling for a lot of rain in the rain gauge. We'll talk more about that and let you know when we'll finally see the sunshine returning.
All right, Chris, thank you. Topping our speed feed this half hour, a Georgia teacher behind bars after allegedly manhandling 2 elementary school students. Police have arrested Roger Clark. They say he snatched 2 students and held them up against a wall with their feet off the ground. Both students were just 7 years old. Clark faces 2 counts of simple battery. His bond is set at $1,300. Attacked inside of a jail cell, the Carroll County Sheriff's Office says Patrick Gentry attacked a female officer after she found a banned item. The Sheriff's Office says Gentry threw the jailer over the railing and she fell 12 feet. We're told she's in the hospital recovering from her injuries. Gentry was in jail for a forgery charge.
Where's Mimi? Move! Good girl. Okay, back to business. We have a baby on the way.
A big delivery coming for the Georgia Aquarium. Whisper, a 20-year-old beluga whale, is pregnant. The aquarium made the announcement today in a social media video. The calf is due mid-April, but the gender won't be known until the birth.
Governor Brian Kemp is on a deadline. He has 1 week to announce if Georgia will accept international refugees. In September, President Donald Trump signed an executive order that lets states opt out of accepting refugees for the first time ever. It also requires cities to give written confirmation that they will accept refugees if they want to keep participating in the federal resettlement program. So far, 18 out of the 26 Republican governors say they will keep letting refugees in. The governor of Texas has been the only one to refuse. 7 GOP governors have not said anything just yet. And if Governor Brian Kemp decides not to say anything before the deadline, Georgia will lose funding for refugees and there will be no resettlement in our state. And he has to decide by January 21st, 1 week from today.
A teenager in Forsyth County is finding a way to cope with the emotional trauma of cyberbullying. We first reported this story in November when 11 students were disciplined for sending hateful, racist messages to minority students at Vickery Creek Middle School. On the receiving end of some of those messages, a 14-year-old girl named Promise. She says after the messages, she couldn't even leave her house. But when the owner of Leashless Atlanta heard about her struggle, he decided to help by training and giving her an emotional support dog. Now it is her companion and helps her to feel less alone.
I was put into a group chat with 40 kids, and it was like just bombarded with like racist messages. We were told to kill ourselves and things like that.
We have decided to start working with her and help her gain her confidence back with a companion so she doesn't feel alone, and it is the only thing making her smile today.
Lynch has some advice for other teens who may be dealing with bullying of any kind. Talk to someone about it, she says, because there are people out there who are willing and able to help. For much more on the story, you can visit the My Coming News section of 11alive.com.
Okay, if you watched the game last night, LSU's season ended in perfection. They had to rally before halftime, right? But the Tigers actually beat Clemson 42-25, and quarterback Joe Burrow had another record performance, leading them to victory. And as Alex Glaze tells us, the Tigers are now making history.
The LSU Tigers are national champions. The Tigers had the best team and the best player all season long, and they put the finishing touches on their historic season less than 100 miles away from campus. Even sweeter for quarterback Joe Burrow, who won the Heisman Trophy just a few weeks ago.
I mean, this is special. This doesn't happen. This doesn't come around every year.
Burrow was responsible for more than 500 yards of LSU's offense and 6 touchdowns. Many have said Burrow is a hero for bringing a championship back to Baton Rouge.
What we did tonight can't be taken away from us. I don't know about the whole hero thing, but I know this national championship will be remembered for a long time in Louisiana. To do it in New Orleans is even more special.
To win in your school's home state is one thing. To win in your home state is another thing entirely. LSU head coach Ed Orgeron, a Louisiana native, did both last night.
I remember growing up there, man, losing was an option. It was not an option, man. You have to win.
The Tigers finished the season undefeated, and now the question is this LSU team the best college football team of all time?
We're national champs. Well, we're 15-0. Whether we mention it as one of the greatest teams or not, that doesn't matter to me.
I don't know, there's a lot of folks out there would argue that, because some of the best teams that come to mind, Tim Tebow's Florida, A.J. McCarron's Alabama, and Nebraska, they were pretty good in the 90s. They're going to become the greatest team ever. We're going to see if that's going to actually happen. Joe Burrow could be known as having the best season ever at LSU. So are the clothing items you put on or put in the donation drop-off bins actually going to charity? It's a question many of us have asked. We're verifying for you tonight.
On the line. We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning. I'm learning the taste of water, because I'm sugary.
Yeah,
right.
About that.
Reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
A little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin.
Well,
Even more beautiful skin, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Blog on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's FRANCESCA AMIKER, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these 2 hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibe with it. It's a good time. We don't worry about the hate. We just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hence. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your
Last month, an integral part of music history, especially here in Georgia, opened up its doors once again.
Yeah, this was a big deal. The legendary Capricorn Studios in Macon defined the Southern rock sound with a roster of talented artists who went on to become legends.
Tonight, we're taking you inside for a look at the studio's new design made possible with a $4 million renovation. Tanya Motorzitsky with our sister station in Macon has the story.
It's music to Macon's ears. To not only have Capricorn reopen, but because it's a step towards preserving Macon's music history and keeping the soul alive.
And it's celebrating our past, but also embracing our future. You know, we are excited to be able to promote our rich musical heritage, but then also have the opportunity to promote a place where current musicians can come and record.
Studio coordinator with Mercer University, Steve Ivey, says Capricorn is going to attract people from all over.
I definitely see the music industry coming back to Macon, being able, just because you have a center here for people to be able to come and work out of and make a living now.
Vice President of Marketing at Visit Macon, Valerie Bradley, says Capricorn will attract not just artists, but tourism.
And we're just excited to show off this great new attraction and jewel that we have here right in downtown Macon.
Bradley says tourists can go to Capricorn's Music Museum and artists can be inspired by the past.
We are excited for people to come and have a chance to come and see the museum. We're excited for artists to come and have a chance to record in the hallowed place where many past musicians have come and record.
Otis Redding's daughter, Carla Redding Andrews, says reviving Capricorn will bring in a new wave of artists.
Keeping them here, keeping them focused, knowing that they have a home and several places to participate with music venues, I think is so exciting.
The renovation was paid for with historic tax credits, donations, and grants.
And all you have to do is just visit our website and learn a lot more about the studio's history. We take a deep dive on the digital series Where We Live, and you can find it in the As Seen on TV section of our 11Alive app.
You know, I love doing this 9 p.m. newscast because we can pass along breaking information that has just come in, and we just got some new information in from the National Weather Service right now, and they have canceled the flood watch. You don't see the counties colored in here anymore. This was supposed to be in effect until Wednesday morning, but it is no longer in effect. They just canceled it, saying that, you know, the rain that we have out there right now and the additional rain coming in is not going to be anything that would add to a flood threat. So instead of canceling it or letting it expire tomorrow morning, they have just canceled that flood watch. So still be aware of, you know, there are a lot of creeks and streams that are swollen from all the rain that we've had, but we don't expect any additional flooding that should be happening. Just lighter rain over on the east side. We'll see some breaks in that action during the nighttime hours tonight. And this is mainly light stuff out in Newton County, Morgan County, Putnam County, Greene County, down toward Milledgeville and Baldwin County, also Jasper County, excuse me, Jasper County seeing just some lighter showers, Butts County that's moving out now. And we've been watching the rain as it's been exiting the Atlanta area. Now still, even though it's not active rain falling, there still could be some mist and drizzle, maybe a little bit of fog developing in some spots as well tonight, but no active heavy rain coming in. And we don't really expect to see much more moving our way tonight either. There's a little bit of rain back here in Alabama, a little bit of moisture there. That's very light too. So not a lot of rain coming in here tonight. And even the showers that we have for tomorrow aren't going to add a lot into the rain bucket. So thank goodness that flash flood watch is now canceled. Here's a look at what we're watching out there right now. And this is a look at the rainfall projections for the overnight hours and into tomorrow. And here you can see not a lot adding up here in the rain buckets through the overnight hours. And then tomorrow, we'll see just a few lighter showers. I think they'll be a little more numerous on the north side, north of I-20. Here, where you see the green color indicating rainfall amounts of less than a ½ inch. There is going to be another surge of rain coming in overnight tomorrow night, really late tomorrow night and into the overnight hours, along with an actual front that's moving our way. May add some additional isolated spots up in North Georgia where they could see 1.5 inches to maybe 1.5 inches. And it's with that next surge that we see, there's the potential over far North Georgia later tomorrow of a couple of those storms that could turn strong. Right now, the Storm Prediction Center has far North Georgia in that marginal risk of the dark green color, level 1 out of 5 risk for some of those stronger storms. Not really a tornado threat, maybe just some damaging winds and hail possible with that. So take a look at our almanac for today. Our high was 65, our low was 60, only a 5-degree range in temperatures. These temperatures well above where we should be this time of year. We should be waking up to 34 this time of year with an afternoon high of 52. We've picked up about 63/100ths of an inch of rain, and we're running now 4 inches ahead of where we should be so far for the year. January has been a pretty wet month. Now for tomorrow, still some showers around, maybe some rumbles of thunder and flashes of lightning, and it's going to be warm, 73 for a high. We're going to go with a 6 on the wazometer. So you can see here, not a lot of rain overnight, just a few lighter showers kind of in the morning, but not active heavy rain falling here in the morning. The better chance for rain will be in North Georgia tomorrow, but then as that front comes in later on tomorrow night, that's when we'll see this line of showers, maybe a few thunderstorms with that rolling through by Thursday morning. We may wake up to a couple of showers on the south side, but that moves out very quickly. And look at that, the sunshine returns on Thursday. Looks like it's going to stick with us on Friday. Then another round of showers will move our way on Saturday, and it'll be a little cooler with highs in the 50s. Sunday, drying out. 53 for a high. We'll see 33 for a low on Monday morning. So if you're headed out for some of the King Day activities, just know it's going to be cold and highs only near 47. And then we'll be at 43 on Tuesday. That's after a morning low of 29 degrees.
All right, folks, you know what time it is. You see your screen. It is time for Tuesday's edition of the A Scene. And guess what, celebrity? We spotted at a recent game.
What up, what up, what up? It's your player partner checking in 2 Chainz. You already know what it is. Sunday, killing it. CP Skyhawk, you already know we about to get another W, man. Enjoy your Sunday, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's College Park's very own 2 Chainz, owner of the College Park Skyhawks. Now, over the weekend, he attended their game against the Raptors 905, and he must be good luck because they are on a 4-game winning streak. Now, I hear 2 Chainz shows up at many of these games, so mark your calendars because the Skyhawks' next home game is Wednesday, and then another one on Sunday.
You ever find yourself looking for someone to blame? Looking for someone to point the finger at?
So this is how the Georgia film show Boomerang announced its comeback on Instagram. Now this is the show that's a spinoff of the 1992 romantic comedy Boomerang starring Eddie Murphy. It was so good. It's about 6 young black and successful millennials who deal with office politics, relationships, and the conflicts between Generation X and millennials. The show returns to BET for season 2 on March 11th, and I'm pretty sure they're filming right back here in Atlanta.
Holiday gifts, purchases, the new year, all of that may have you turning to your closet for a little bit of a cleanse this January. And donation bins accepting clothing all around the cities and stores can seem like a convenient, easy fix to donate to charity. But are those donation bins actually connected to legitimate charities? Our Liza Lucas verifies.
Out with the old and in with the new. Dropping off clothing to donation bins can be an easy way to clean out and give back. But are such bins really benefiting charities?
In some cases it is, some cases it's not.
That's Kevin Scally with Charity Navigator.
In the cases where it's not a legitimate charity, they can be using that for-profit gains. So whether they're selling it at thrift stores or they're sending it overseas, there's definitely a big market there.
Here's advice from the Better Business Bureau's Wise Giving Alliance. Once you've determined what will go in the box, take a closer look at the outside. The information or lack thereof can inform your giving decisions. In fact, Georgia state law requires donation bins owned by 501c3 nonprofits or religious groups to post contact information on the bin so you can do more research, while bins run by other groups must post contact info plus state whether or not the donations benefit a charity or religious group. Some counties like Cobb and Gwinnett also require bins be registered. In summary, not all donation bins are run by charities, but state law requires those bins be marked accordingly.
If there's a name on there, just do your research. You know, you definitely want to give with your heart, but you also want to give with your head. So that way you know that you're not taken advantage of and that your clothing or your money is going to the right place.
And a reminder from the Wise Giving Alliance, if you do donate to a for-profit bin, it is not tax deductible. Do you have something for us to verify? Reach out to us via Facebook, Twitter, or via email at verify@11alive.com.
A barrier-busting filmmaker with Atlanta ties is making international headlines once again. Up next, what's new for Spike Lee?
5 to 7 a.m. on 11 Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
And they're
convenient. But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun.
Yeah.
There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting.
Yeah.
We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
your voice? It is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together, our voices grow. Together, we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hey,
and they
cliffhangers.
would, you know, they would wait the next week. You were, oh, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11 Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11 Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film Hawks' Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons.
While the Academy Awards are under fire for their lack of diversity once again, Oscar-winning filmmaker Spike Lee is breaking new ground in international cinema. The Morehouse College alum has been named as head of the 2020 Cannes Film Festival jury, the first black jury president in its 73-year history. Lee was last there in 2018 when his film Black Klansman won the prestigious Grand Prix Award. And in his statement, the 62-year-old said he is honored to be, quote, the first person of the African diaspora to head the jury. Last fall, Lee was honored at Morehouse College's inaugural Human Rights Film Festival, which highlighted his lifetime achievement in film. This year's Cannes Film Festival will run from May 12th to the 23rd.
Well, that flash flood watch that was supposed to expire tomorrow morning has been canceled because our rain overnight tonight is most likely going to be light stuff. Now, we'll still have a few showers tomorrow, not particularly heavy. Maybe some thunder in far north Georgia tomorrow night before it all ends. Decreasing clouds Thursday, cooling to 55 Friday, more showers Saturday. Then, at the end of the weekend and the beginning of next week, it gets cold again. Finally feeling like January.
Woo. Okay, thanks a lot, Chris. We have more news and weather coming up right here on the ATL.
Entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie.
No.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alert.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. So y'all just do what I say I'ma do. No, my movement ain't faded. You could assume it.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A Scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Chesley.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Chesley.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning. I'm learning the taste of water, because I'm sugary.
Yeah,
right.
About that.
Well, reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
a little water in my
yes.
cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want?
11Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
A scare in the air and on the ground as well, as tonight, Delta Airlines expressing concern for dozens of children and adults after a Delta pilot was forced to dump fuel on them while making an emergency landing in Los Angeles. The jet fuel fell on people at the school and neighborhoods, on a playground as well. It was in the landing path, causing minor injuries and major worries. As John Chirick reports, tonight we're working to find out what questions the FAA is asking about whether the pilot had any other options.
The sight shocked witnesses. Fuel spewing out of a Delta airliner and onto Los Angeles. Delta Flight 89 had just taken off from the Los Angeles airport. Suddenly, the pilot radioed the tower declaring an emergency, saying he had to shut down an engine. Delta telling us later that as the pilot circled back to LAX, he had to dump his jet fuel in order to land safely. The fuel raining on 4 elementary schools and on residential neighborhoods near the airport.
We do have the smell of fuel in the area right now.
As many as 60 people, mostly children, complained of skin irritation and burning eyes and other minor injuries.
My head started hurting first, but then my eye itched.
FAA regulations are strict about fuel releases, normally allowing them over unpopulated areas only and at high altitudes so the released fuel immediately evaporates. But the FAA does provide for exceptions in emergencies. Delta in Atlanta emailing us. We share concerns regarding reported minor injuries to adults and children at a school in the area. Delta so far has not offered any details about what caused the engine failure, but points out the plane did land safely and that the airline is in touch with authorities in Los Angeles about the potential impacts of the jet fuel in the next few days on health and the environment.
Wow, what a story that is. Breaking news out of Cobb County. A person was hit and killed on Riverside Parkway. Details are limited right now, but we're working to find out if this was a hit and run. There's no word if anyone else was hurt. You can download the 11Alive app for the latest updates on this story. Our chief meteorologist, Chris Holcomb, is keeping an eye on rain in parts of metro Atlanta tonight. Tell you what, I feel like we're somewhere in Southeast Asia around the rainy season, right?
You know, it has been very rainy here, and tonight we're finally seeing some breaks in the action. And Jeff, if you'll recall, we've been talking about the past couple of days about this flash flood watch that is supposed to be in effect until tomorrow morning. The National Weather Service just canceled that early because what we're seeing out there right now with the rain is pretty light. We don't see any additional heavy rain coming in tonight, so they went ahead and canceled that for the overnight hours. Now, just know there are still some creeks and streams that are really high, some of those over their banks in some areas, but we should start to see some of that receding somewhat. Here's a look at what we're dealing with tonight. We don't have any rain in Atlanta. We do have some pockets of mist and drizzle, maybe a little bit of fog developing as well. Some of the rain is over to the east right now toward Morgan County, Putnam County at Eatonton, over toward Milledgeville. They're in Baldwin County. But as you can see, that is moving over to the east. So we don't have a lot more that's going to be moving our way tonight. In fact, I'll take you over to the east, and you can see here in Alabama, just a couple of showers there, but nothing really major. So here's what we're going to be watching as we go through the rest of the nighttime hours. The rainfall totals really aren't going to be that impressive. In fact, through tomorrow morning, some areas will be dry, and then tomorrow afternoon, additional rain comes in. We're talking about a ½ inch or less on the north side. There will be an additional round of heavier rain that comes in tomorrow night, along with the cold front that could have some thunder and lightning with it. That'll give us some more rain before everything finally pushes out of here to allow us to dry out. We'll have more on that timeline and when we'll see colder air moving in coming up.
A man was shot in the arm after deputies say he rammed into a patrol car. The Hall County Sheriff's Office says 2 deputies pulled over Marvin Tarr Jr. early this morning. He had a taillight that was out. They say during the stop, he put his car in reverse, rammed the patrol car, and then started driving away. That's when one of the deputies shot him, and he crashed into a pole. He was taken to the hospital, but now he is in jail. No deputies were injured. The man seen kicking a cat on video will spend 6 months in jail. Jamari Davenport is his name. He pleaded guilty to animal cruelty. He's arrested after video surfaced of him moseying in on a cat at an Atlanta gas station on MLK Drive nearly 2 years ago. Atlanta police say that cat was never found again. Again, he also has 240 hours of community service ahead of him as well. A man murdered inside his apartment, and now police are looking for the killer. Cobb County police found Daquan Murphy early this morning at the Alta Mill Apartments. That's in Austell. Investigators say he was shot in the chest. He died at the hospital. A Bibb County teacher is now in jail after investigators say he manhandled 2 elementary students. Police arrested and charged Roger Clark. They say he snatched 2 students at L.H. Williams Elementary and then held them against the wall with their feet off the ground. Both students were only 7. In the past 13 months, 6 inmates have died while in custody inside the Cobb County Jail, and now one inmate's family is filing a wrongful death lawsuit against the sheriff's office and the jail's current medical provider, Wellstar. Joe Hankey has a copy of the lawsuit.
The lawsuit the family of Reginald Wilson filed claims while he needed immediate psychiatric attention while inside the Cobb County Jail, he never was seen by a psychiatrist. Cobb County Sheriff Neil Warren, Wellstar Health System, as well as several deputies and medical professionals are listed as defendants. The lawsuit details Wilson being booked into the jail, a nurse noting him having bipolar disorder and acting bizarre, and then during his time as an inmate, several others noted Wilson showing signs of psychosis. The plaintiffs claim, though at no point did the jail psychiatrist see Wilson. The lawsuit also alleges while in custody, Wilson smeared his own feces around his cell and failed to eat or drink. The defendants entirely primarily failed to provide him with adequate supervision or care during this time, the plaintiffs claim. Instead, they merely documented his downward spiral until his death. Wilson's death on December 29, 2018 would be followed by 5 more inmate deaths at the jail in 2019. The county medical examiner ruled Wilson's death to be from natural causes. As for the other inmates, one was ruled accidental, another a suicide, another from natural causes, and 2 are still being investigated. In Wilson's autopsy, the medical examiner wrote Wilson died from dehydration due to bipolar disorder and mentioned certain mental illnesses can lead to dehydration. The ME described the jail providing adequate food and water, but Wilson consumed only a small amount. Video the ME watched showed Wilson being very active in his cell, but over time became sluggish and eventually became unresponsive.
And this Cobb case is similar to a lawsuit that was filed over an inmate's death in Rockdale County. A grand jury found the staff failed to recognize CHESLEY Tilson's declining mental state while he was being held in the jail. But its report concluded that no single person was responsible for his death. And like the Cobb case, Mr. Tilson's official cause of death was listed as related to dehydration. You can read more about this case and the others in the video release showing Mr. Tilson's increasingly erratic behavior in his final days. All of that on 11alive.com. As part of a White House and gubernatorial initiative, President First Daughter Ivanka Trump in Atlanta today hearing stories from victims of human trafficking. Human trafficking has slowly moved to the front burner in the Georgia General Assembly, certainly over the last decade, particularly with the attention that it has gotten from First Lady Marty Kemp and her husband, the governor. They gave it even more attention today with meetings in 2 Atlanta area locations where they heard from victims of human trafficking. Some of them told the First Daughter and the Kemps that the cycle of abuse was sometimes head-spinning.
If I even attempted to try to leave, or I tried to use the phone, or I tried to do anything like that, they would show me what would happen to me. And so a client actually rescued me, and in him rescuing me, he trafficked me as well. And so it wasn't until I was arrested in March of 2016 that that was my freedom day. That was when I got a chance to just escape from everything.
Some of the victims told the group they often didn't realize they were victims until after they had escaped. And just yesterday, Governor Kemp and his wife announced that human trafficking awareness training for state employees is on the docket, and that is 78,000 people who now have access to training. The First Lady partnered with the Georgia Public Safety Training Center to hold 2 self-defense classes on January 30th. There is a hotline to help anybody impacted by human trafficking, 888-373-7888. You can call it 24 hours a day. Fans aren't crazy about the name change, but it's here.
I did get used to the SunTrust name. I like the SunTrust name, and you just take some time to get used to the new name, whatever it's going to be.
So how is that name settling right now? Did the company go wrong? Well, Ryan Kruger sat down with an expert whose job is to name companies.
It's one of the largest banking companies in the world, but when you type the word Truist, spell-check thinks you've made a mistake. Perhaps that's one of the reasons why branding expert Mark Spees says the bank struck out with the name.
Structurally, it's tough. Linguistically, it looks and sounds like trust or truist, the real word.
There are 2 different audiences for the name. You've got bank customers and sports fans.
Bank customers are reluctant. They kind of don't care. Banks change names. Banks merge. That's been going on, for decades. Sports fans are a little bit different. They're going to complain. They're going to be more vocal, but they're still going to go to the stadium. They may call it SunTrust for a while. They may call it Braves Stadium for a while.
In the last 5 years, the Braves have played at Turner Field, SunTrust Park, and next season, Truist Park. Truist has the naming rights for the park for the next 2 decades, but given the world we live in with constant mergers and acquisitions, Spees says,
if I had to bet, yes, within 20 years, there will be another name change. That's my guess.
And Truist says that they have been working for a long time with a marketing company to create that name. They say it embodies both BB&T and SunTrust. Of course, those were the 2 banks that merged.
Say my name, Ryan. Thank you. A local group is helping a teen cope with online bullying, the gift that is helping change her life.
Vibe with it, it's a good time. We don't worry about the hate, we just pass it to the side.
There's
graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hence. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
And they're
convenient. But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us.
A teenager in Forsyth County finding a way to cope with the emotional trauma of cyberbullying. We first reported this story in November when 11 students were disciplined for sending hateful racist messages to minority students at Vickery Creek Middle School. On the receiving end of some of these messages, a 14-year-old named Promise. She says after the messages, she couldn't even leave her house. But when the owner of Leashless Atlanta heard about her struggle, he decided to help by training and giving her an emotional support dog, a great dog. Now it's her companion to help her feel better.
I was put into a group chat with 40 kids, and it was like just bombarded with like racist messages. We were told to kill ourselves and things like that.
We have decided to start working with her and help her gain her confidence back with a companion so she doesn't feel alone, and it is the only thing making her smile today.
Lynch has advice for teens dealing with bullying of any kind. Talk with someone about it, because there are people out there who are willing to help. For more on this story, you can visit mycomingnews.com. New tonight at 10, you never know what you're capable of until you're faced with things you never thought possible. For a Gwinnett County kindergarten teacher, it meant dealing with death and fire. She called it the most difficult year of her life. She tells Hope Ford she is praying the dark days are far behind her.
It's hard. Susan Kessel hoped to retire, pay off her mortgage, and travel the world with her husband, Bill. But in 2018, Bill died.
It just became harder after our house burned.
5 months later, their home in Commerce burned down with her pets inside. The next year dragged on, slow, sometimes painful. People often forgetting what she was going through.
People saying, you always have something on that's new. And then they go, oh yeah. You lost everything.
But Susan couldn't forget. She had to live it every day.
And how quick you can go back to that grief.
But after nearly 365 days, Susan moved into a new home on her old property.
To have my own place and be able to put my own twist on things and all my cows, and nobody can say I don't want that in my house.
But there are things missing, items from her life with Bill.
Everything that we had together was gone. You don't realize what you've lost. And oh, let me show you this, or oh, no, I don't.
But despite the lingering feeling of loss, the new year also brought Susan someone new to love.
I have a new grandbaby that was just born last month.
She also finally retired, but had to go back as a substitute at her old school to make ends meet. New home, new little human, new role at work. Susan now knows the difference a year can make.
Tuesday night, and yes, it's damp outside, and Chris has an update for us.
Yeah, and Jeff, we're seeing those rain showers, light stuff, moving over to the east of us. Remember this time last night, we were tracking some pockets of heavy rain and thunder and lightning that were south of I-20, and those moved across the area south of us. We're not going to see that tonight. Generally light stuff around over to the east that we're watching right now. And then also, as this pushes over to the east, and the back edge of this is back into Eatonton right now, and then also back into parts of Walton County. But as you move back toward Atlanta, you see no active rain here now. There is a little bit of mist and drizzle in some areas with some of the clouds that we have, and even some fog around too. But if we put this into motion, you can see that that activity is moving over to the east. But I'll take you over here into Alabama, and there are some additional light rain showers there, but nothing really major. That'll keep moving through the area tonight, mainly on the south side, a few of those lighter showers around. So because our rain is dwindling a little bit tonight, it's not totally over because we will still have some more showers tomorrow. But you'll remember that flood watch that was in effect until tomorrow morning. It has now been canceled because of the lighter rain that we have around in the area right now. So for tomorrow, things are going to be on the warm side again. It's going to be very mild to start in the morning at 61. We get up to 73 in the afternoon hours. We're going to have some clouds around still and more showers, and even as a cold front finally pushes through tomorrow night and that boundary comes in here, there will still be a chance for a few of those stronger showers here once we get into tomorrow night, maybe with some rumbles of thunder and flashes of lightning in it. So tonight you can see the mainly clear skies that we have in our, or not clear skies, but no rain around. We have fog and clouds in the area. And then in the morning hours, we're going to wake up to some clouds and fog in some spots and some of those lighter showers up in North Georgia. And then as we go through the rest of the daytime hours, really it looks like those higher rain chances are going to be up to the north, and then we'll watch for that next little boundary to move in. That'll give us a better chance for some showers around. Take a look at the bottom of your screen here. You're going to see a QR code pop up right here. This is where I want you to hold up your phone camera to that QR code on your screen, and it'll help you download the 11Alive app. And that way you can look at radar on that app, as well as enable alerts to for you to get any alerts of any watches or warnings that are issued in our area, as well as keeping up of when that rain's moving in. Our forecast information is there as well. So do that, and it's a really beneficial tool for you to use and see some of the same things that we're watching here on radar. Now, Wednesday night, here comes that frontal boundary that's going to swing through. Nothing really major with it, but that's where we might see some rumbles of thunder and flashes of lightning up in far north Georgia. Thursday morning, waking up to the north side to dry weather conditions. Atlanta and southward, we're still holding on to a really low rain chance, and that's early in the morning on Thursday. And then look what happens during the day. That all moves away. We're finally going to see this system push out of here. Drier air moving in, more sunshine for Thursday, cooler air in place, and then we'll see a few clouds around on Friday as well. You can see some of those clouds as they start building back in. And then by Saturday, there's that potential for some showers to return. So tomorrow night, as that next area of rain comes in here, there's that potential that maybe one or two of those can turn strong. I'm not concerned about tornadoes with that, but maybe some wind or hail with that for tomorrow night. But again, it's going to be a low-end risk. So we see those rain chances still Thursday, on Wednesday. Then Thursday morning, a couple of showers early, and then everything's going to move out. So really, most of the day Thursday is going to be dry. Highs near 65. 55 Friday with more clouds around. Saturday, another round of rain moves in, highs near 58, and then we clear out Sunday, 53 for a high for the King holiday, 47 for a high, and then 29 for a low on Tuesday with a high of only 43 degrees. So remember, we want to share with you our wow weather moment of the day. This is a perfect example of how to take advantage of a rainy day. This is from 11Alive storm tracker Jennifer Ojeda. Now, this is her son. She said that her son's teacher sent her this picture of what he did at school. I don't think he's getting in trouble. I think it's kind of a funny picture there. But hey, what a way. You know, a lot of people are complaining about all this rain that we have around, but here you can see how Jennifer's son is enjoying that. We want to see your weather wow moments, and the easiest way to share them is on the 11Alive Storm Trackers Face group. It's a great way to interact with our team of meteorologists and to get your photos and videos on air. Just go to Facebook in the search bar and search 11Alive Storm Trackers and ask to become a member.
I love that picture of that little boy, Chris. Boys being boys, we like that. Okay, as we prepare to remember Dr. King, much of next week's birthday celebration will revolve around 4 words. Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech is an important part of United States history. And prior to the March on Washington in 1963, he did not plan to use those words. Jerry Carnes connects Dr. King's speech to the late, great Mahalia Jackson.
They are iconic words that became the rallying cry of the civil rights movement. But it was not Dr. Martin Luther King's plan to speak those words during the 1963 March on Washington. Here's the connection between Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech and famed gospel singer Mahalia Jackson. Jackson and Dr. King were good friends. The two met at the 1956 National Baptist Convention. Afterward, Jackson would appear at rallies and demonstrations, often singing prior to speeches delivered by Dr. King. When he wrote the speech that he planned to deliver at the famous rally in front of the Washington Monument, Dr. King did not include the words, I have a dream. It was Jackson who shouted to her friend, tell them about the dream, Martin. Observers say at that point, King put his written text aside and delivered the words often repeated today. Dr. King had talked of his dream at prior speeches. His friend, the gospel singer, thought it would be an appropriate message to the 250,000 people who gathered in Washington.
I'm FRANCESCA AMIKER with the A Scene. 2 Chainz was sitting courtside to watch his team in action. Yep, I got all the details for you, including a cute little video coming up in the A Scene.
Extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
And they're
convenient. But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
your voice? It is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
bringing us together to act?
Together, our voices grow. Together, we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hey,
and they
cliffhangers.
would, you know, they would wait the next week. You're, oh, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey, look, the South.
All right, folks, you know what time it is. You see your screen. It is time for Tuesday's edition of the A Scene. And guess what, celebrity? We spotted at a recent game.
What up, what up, what up? It's your player partner checking in 2 Chainz. You already know what it is. Sunday, killing it. CP Skyhawk. You already know we about to get another W, man. Enjoy your Sunday, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's College Park's very own 2 Chainz, owner of the College Park Skyhawks. Now, over the weekend, he attended their game against the Raptors 905, and he must be good luck because they are on a 4-game winning streak. Now, I hear 2 Chainz shows up at many of these games, so mark your calendars because the Skyhawks' next home game is Wednesday, and then another one on Sunday.
You ever find yourself looking for someone to blame? Looking for someone to point the finger at?
So this is how the Georgia film show Boomerang announced its comeback on Instagram. Now this is the show that's a spinoff of the 1992 romantic comedy Boomerang starring Eddie Murphy. It was so good. It's about 6 young black and successful millennials who deal with office politics, relationships, and the conflicts between Generation X and millennials. The show returns to BET for season 2 on March 11th, and I'm pretty sure they're filming right back here in Atlanta.
A 9-year-old girl badly burned by a popular face mask, a paper mask. Her mother's warning is coming up next.
End up eating tons of that, and then on Monday you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie!
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm gonna be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alert.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'm gonna do. No, no, moving ain't faded. You could assume it.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A Scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
Stop.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Chesley.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning. I'm learning the taste of water, because I'm sugary. Yeah, right.
about that?
Reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes.
Right? Yeah,
Okay.
a little water in my
yes.
cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Blog on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photos.
The timeline for impeachment against President Trump beginning to be more clear. House Democrats are set to hand the reins to the Senate tomorrow, with the trial now expected to begin a week from today. Leaders from both parties are putting in a lot of work behind the scenes ahead of the showdown. NBC's Alice Barr with the very latest from Washington.
The countdown is on for an historic handoff. Speaker Nancy Pelosi telling colleagues today the House will vote tomorrow to send the articles of impeachment to the Senate,
which would set us up to begin the actual trial next Tuesday.
It's still unclear if that will include new documents and witnesses.
And the American people will be able to tell the difference
between a fair hearing of the facts and the cover-up.
Unless the Senate steps outside our lane and takes it upon ourselves to supplement the House case, it's a cover-up.
It'll come down to a small group of Republicans who could vote with Democrats to force testimony from witnesses, including former National Security Advisor John Bolton.
I'll be voting in favor of considering witnesses.
I'll decide whether we do after I hear the case.
If we want to have a fair trial and have witnesses from everyone, that would include Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and really the whistleblower.
The House also votes tomorrow on who to name as managers, with committee chairs Adam Schiff and Jerry Nadler among the contenders to prosecute the case of whether President Trump's Ukraine dealings amount to abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. The White House assembling its own team of lawyers, while President Trump has turned impeachment into a rallying cry, calling for donations to a defense fund as he campaigns tonight in the swing state of Wisconsin, treading new ground as the first American president to battle against impeachment and for re-election at the same time.
Governor Kemp is on a deadline. He has 1 week to announce if Georgia will accept international refugees. In September, President Trump signed an executive order that lets states opt out of accepting refugees for the first time ever. It also requires cities to give written confirmation they will accept refugees if they want to keep participating in the federal resettlement program. So far, 18 of 26 Republican governors say they will keep letting refugees in. The governor of Texas has been the only one to refuse. 7 Republican governors have not said anything as of yet. And if Governor Kemp decides not to say anything before the deadline, the result will be the same as refusing, as Georgia will lose funding for the refugees and there will be no resettlement in our state. He has until January 21st to decide. That's 1 week from tonight. A Clayton County mother sentenced to life for killing her 11-year-old daughter may soon get out on parole after serving more than 30 years in prison. Other family members are furious over this. Elvin Lopez spoke to the victim's half-brother, who is more than pleading with the state not to let the mother out.
I'm doing everything. That's my sister.
Shane Wright fighting in memory of his half-sister, Jenny Ann Wright. Jenny Ann was just 11 years old when she was killed in 1982. Her cause of death listed as asphyxiation. 7 years later, in 1989, her mom, Martha Ann Johnson, admitted to police she killed Jenny Ann and her son, J.W. Taylor, but denied killing her other 2 children. Their official causes of death were listed as SIDS and a seizure disorder. She was convicted in Jenny Ann's death and sentenced to life.
She never once told anybody in that courtroom that she was sorry.
Now, after 30 years, the Clayton DA's office says, against its own objections, the parole board has tentatively granted Martha Ann Johnson parole. In a letter the DA's office shared with us, the board writes, quote, "The parole board has considered the information you provided and has decided to proceed with the inmate's parole. You will be notified of our actual release date when it is set." In an email, the parole board tells us this is subject to change, adding that if she is released, it will give a 72-hour notification to involved parties, and reiterating a final release decision has not been made. Wright says he thought life in prison meant she would never step outside of it again.
I want them to carry her body in a bag out of that prison, throw her in the woods and catch her on fire. I wouldn't even waste the dirt.
A push tonight to help teachers struggling to pay off their student loans. If House Bill 736 passes, future teachers' loans would be forgiven if they agree to teach at low-performing schools around the state. Latasha Givens is breaking down the bill and what it could mean for education in Georgia.
I was the first one to go to college in my family. Always.
Over 30 years ago, State Representative Gerald Green says he had to borrow money to go to college. And when he graduated with mounting student loan debt, it was forgiven.
I'm actually a product of the teaching field, and I had loan forgiveness when I came to teach in the rural areas of southwest Georgia.
This is one reason Green and 4 others reintroduced House Bill 736 that would allow students with a teaching degree a chance to have their loans paid off.
The intent of the bill is to be able to incentivize those educators.
Our teachers are aging out, and it's hard to recruit them, and particularly in those turnaround schools.
The downside is that we can't do it for everyone.
It shouldn't just be for turnaround schools. It should be for all public schools.
To qualify for loan forgiveness, teachers must have a degree from a Georgia school, they must teach at a turnaround school, they must commit to 5 years of teaching, they must have a teaching degree or certification, and they must teach STEM courses.
This bill right here, this is what should happen.
Verdelia Turner, president of Georgia Federation of Teachers, says she's concerned the bill only focuses on what's labeled as turnaround schools.
Why not just say teachers who work in Title I schools? Because the federal government has defined lower income schools as Title I schools.
Turner, who also had her student loans forgiven after teaching for a few years, says if legislators address the issues current teachers have, like class size and state testing, less teachers would leave education.
In the beauty business, they're all the rage. They're called face sheet masks, and they're designed to give you a boost or a glow if you are one of those who need a boost or a glow. But one mother is sending out a warning. She says a particular face mask caused her daughter's face to turn bright red. Pretty scary, she says. Here's NBC's Juliana Valencia.
It's not what 9-year-old Nellie David intended to happen when she put on this unicorn face mask.
After like 4 minutes, I started feeling like stinging. So I just pulled it off and I'm like, ow, my face really hurts and it's really red.
Her face burning and turning red everywhere this face mask touched.
I started to notice that it was getting redder. Her face was hot to the touch and it actually started to sort of puff out.
The mask, a Yes to Vitamin C glow-boosting unicorn paper mask that Nellie's mother, Megan, discovered had multiple bad reviews online.
That said the same thing that happened to them, burning, skin irritation. A lot of people made reference to the fact that they thought that it was a chemical burn.
We reached out to Yes to, and the company responded with this statement, saying in part, "We apologize to anyone who is affected in this way, especially over the holiday season. While our products are all independently tested for safety, irritation, and allergy, and while we provide both warnings and instructions on our products about the potential for skin irritation, the safety and satisfaction of our customers are our main concerns. We have decided to pull this particular product off of the shelves while we investigate the complaints that we have received and seen online."
It was a huge learning experience for us. Putting something on your child's face, it is do a little bit more research. If I had just maybe taken the time to look online and seen that there were negative reviews, it may have stopped me from putting it on.
After about 24 hours, the burning and redness had gone away. And from now on, Nellie says she's going to be careful about the face masks she uses.
I think I'll still do it, but not as often, and maybe do it with someone else to make sure I don't get burned again.
The company apologized to the little girl's mother. The company also offered her, and this is very generous of them, a $10 gift card to use at the retailer where she purchased the mask. The moral of the story, parents, for all of us, keep your kids away from those masks, right? All right. Here's weather.
Well, the flash flood watch that was supposed to be in effect until early tomorrow morning has been canceled, but we're still tracking a couple of light showers around. Stay with us. I'll let you know if we have additional rain for tomorrow and when we will dry out.
So the Braves lose out on another free agent, this time to the Twins. How that will impact them and what their options are coming up in sports.
Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's FRANCESCA AMIKER, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these 2 hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout-out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibe with it. It's a good time. We don't worry about the hate. We just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hence. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
And they're
convenient. But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
Your voice, it is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together, our voices grow. Together, we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hey,
and
cliffhangers.
They would,
Toxic smoke from Australia's wildfires are wreaking havoc on the Australian Open. A Slovenian tennis player forced to quit after dropping to her knees coughing from the haze. NASA says the amount of smoke from the wildfires is so unusual, it will make a full circle around the world. The animal population has been severely impacted by the fires. Experts at the University of Sydney estimate 1 billion animals have died, and those numbers have so many people wondering how they can help. The Better Business Bureau is warning people to give wisely. The top 3 charities in Australia include the Red Cross, Salvation Army, and Nature Conservancy Australia. The BBB says here in the U.S. the best organizations to give include the Red Cross, Direct Relief, and Global Giving. We've shared more ways to give on 11alive.com. Sticking to donations, you probably have seen or used donation bins around town, usually in parking lots, asking for your old clothes. We wanted to know if all donation bins are connected to charities. Here's Liza Lucas to verify.
Out with the old and in with the new. Dropping off clothing to donation bins can be an easy way to clean out and give back. But are such bins really benefiting charities?
In some cases it is, some cases it's not.
That's Kevin Scally with Charity Navigator.
In the cases where it's not a legitimate charity, they can be using that for-profit gains. So whether they're selling it at thrift stores or they're sending it overseas, there's definitely a big market there.
Here's advice from the Better Business Bureau's Wise Giving Alliance. Once you've determined what will go in the box, take a closer look at the outside. The information or lack thereof can inform your giving decisions. In fact, Georgia state law requires donation bins owned by 501c3 nonprofits or religious groups to post contact information on the bin so you can do more research, while bins run by other groups must post contact info plus state whether or not the donations benefit a charity or religious group. Some counties like Cobb and Gwinnett also require bins be registered. In summary, not all donation bins are run by charities, but state law requires those bins be marked accordingly.
If there's a name on there, just do your research. You know, you definitely want to give with your heart, but you also want to give with your head. So that way you know that you're not taken advantage of and that your clothing or your money is going to the right place.
And a reminder from the Wise Giving Alliance, if you do donate to a for-profit bin, it is not tax deductible. Do you have something for us to verify? Reach out to us via Facebook, Twitter, or via email at verify@11alive.com.
Well, we have some drier weather here in Atlanta right now. Now, I know the roads are wet. We're just talking about no active rain falling down. There could be a little bit of mist and drizzle in some spots, but a lot of us don't have any rain. The light shower activity has pushed well off to the east, and you can see some of that rain here that is out I-20 throughout parts of Greene County. It's already moved past Lake Oconee there in Putnam County, a few showers around Milledgeville, Taylor County, but come back here to Atlanta and no active rain here. We'll continue watching just a few of these showers as everything has been moving over to the east. You see the rain that came through Atlanta earlier has pushed off to the east, so we're in a break now. A few more showers over here into Alabama. A couple of those will swing through tonight, but it's not going to be like last night where on the south side we had some thunder and lightning and strong winds with some of that. So I think you'll be able to sleep a little easier tonight, but still maybe just a couple of those light showers around. A little mist, drizzle, fog is possible overnight and into the early morning hours as well. Here's what we're watching out there for tonight. You can see the almanac showing how warm it was today. 65 degrees for a high temperature. Our low was 60, so we only had a 5-degree range of temperatures today, mild all day long. We should be starting off this time of year with temperatures around 34 and an afternoon high of 52. So that just goes to show how warm it is out there. Now, we have picked up about 0.63 of an inch of rain today, and so that gives us a surplus for the year of more than 4 inches. We've had more than 5 inches of rain so far this year, so we're 4 inches ahead of where we should be so far in January and for the year. It's mild out there right now. We're still in the 60s, right about 60 degrees. We have some 50s in the outlying areas. We're going to see those temperatures staying mild overnight. We will see more, more rain tomorrow, but not active heavy rain, just going to be a few off and on light showers around. And then our record high temperature for Wednesday is 73 degrees. We're calling for a high for 73. We may tie that record. And then colder air will be on the way as we head toward the second half of the weekend and also into next week. So finally beginning to feel a little bit more like January. So here's what we're watching for your Wednesday. A 6 on the wasometer. That's our scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfect day. 73 degrees for that high temperature. That would tie the record. So here's what we're watching tonight. Not a lot of rain around, just a couple of spotty light showers. In the morning, clouds, maybe a little bit of fog in some spots. At lunchtime, the best chance for rain is over North Georgia. Same thing for in the afternoon, just a couple of scattered showers west and through metro Atlanta. And then late Wednesday night, there's the main system coming in. That could have some thunder and lightning with it. It sweeps through. That's the end of the rain. Then on Thursday, we start to dry out and finally cool off a little bit. Now on Thursday we'll be at 65, and then Friday at 55. We'll be near 60 on Saturday with another round of rain moving in. Then after that, a better chance to not only dry out but cool off. Look at those temperatures, back to the 30s Monday morning, highs in the 40s, and then 20s Tuesday morning with highs in the lower 40s.
The Braves are down a third baseman tonight. Josh Donaldson is joining the Minnesota Twins. They have offered him a 4-year deal with a 5th-year option that would make his deal worth $100 million. That's a lot of money for him, particularly for a guy who'll be, 38 by the time that this deal is done. Braves sticking with their young prospects. It leaves them with Camargo and Riley right now at third base. But you know what? They got to pony up. They got to spend some money. They got to replace this guy. Way too productive. So the question becomes, who is the cleanup hitter? Who's it going to be for the Braves? And it's a key spot. You take a look at what the Braves are doing right now. Donaldson hit 250, 30 home runs, 71 RBI in that 4 spot. So they're going to have to go out. They're going to have to find somebody. They're going to have to pony up. I'll say that again. You got to pay. LSU's season ended in perfection. The Tigers beat Clemson 42-25, had a rally before halftime. Joe Burrow, the cigar-smoking youth, had another record performance, leading them to victory. And as Alex Glaze tells us, the Tigers are going down, not to an opponent, but in history.
The LSU Tigers are national champions. The Tigers had the best team and the best player all season long, and they put the finishing touches on their historic season less than 100 miles away from campus. Even sweeter for quarterback Joe Burrow, who won the Heisman Trophy just a few weeks ago.
I mean, this is special. This doesn't happen. This doesn't come around every year.
Burrow was responsible for more than 500 yards of LSU's offense and 6 touchdowns. Many have said Burrow is a hero for bringing a championship back to Baton Rouge.
What we did tonight can't be taken away from us. I don't know about the whole hero thing, but I know this national championship will be remembered for a long time in Louisiana. To do it in New Orleans, is even more special.
To win in your school's home state is one thing. To win in your home state is another thing entirely. LSU head coach Ed Orgeron, a Louisiana native, did both last night.
I remember growing up there, man, losing was an option. It was not an option, man. You have to win.
The Tigers finished the season undefeated, and now the question is this LSU team the best college football team of all time?
We're national champs. Well, we're 15-0. Whether we mention as one of the greatest teams or not, that doesn't matter to me.
I don't know. It's always hard to compare eras, teams. I'm not very good at that. You know, I don't think anybody's very good at it, to be honest with you. But I guess in my lifetime, I've thought about, you know, what are some of the really great teams that we have seen? I certainly think of Tim Tebow's Florida team with Chris Leak, and man, those were some good teams. The '96 Gators were pretty good too. A.J. McCarron's Alabama team. You know, I grew up out in Big 8 country, and the Nebraska teams of Tom Osborne, Bob Devaney were pretty stout, pretty strong as well. So this LSU team, though, is athletic and as explosive as any we've ever seen. They are astonishing. They really are. NBA, Hawks celebrating a birthday tonight for Dominique Wilkins. We'll get into that in a moment. But Hawks taking on the Suns, and this one close throughout. Fourth quarter, they go on a run. Trae Young to John Collins. Collins dunking it, and it looks like he's playing a little bit better, back in a rhythm. Trae Young now hitting from deep. Gave him a strong night. He had 36 this evening. Then Kevin Huerter came to over to Cam Reddish. The dunk caps off a nice run. And a strong night for Huerter, 23 points, 8 assists. Hawks scored 39 in the fourth quarter. They beat the Suns 123-110, their 9th win of the season. And the Hawks celebrating Dominique Wilkins' 60th birthday. Makes us all feel old, right? In your mind's eye, he is forever about 25. If you're watching at 6 over on 11Alive, we celebrated with him, and he had a lot of fun wearing those glasses. I guess anything for television. He's always been a good sport about local TV over the decades. He'll always do interviews and always wear sunglasses if you ask him.
I remember how much fun he was to watch. I think he was one of the first guys where you look at him and you think, man, he's super athletic. Now it's almost every kid you see is playing, but he was kind of the pioneer of that super athletic forward.
Behind Wilkins, look out.
He was the superstar in his day. He was the Atlanta Hawks man. I mean, he represented the league. If you went to the Hawks game, you were going to see Dominique.
I remember Dominique from way back. I remember seeing in the playoffs. I remember seeing him during the slam dunk contest.
And the battles with Larry Bird and Michael Jordan, you know, guys like Clyde Drexler. I mean, I played some of the greatest players that ever played this game in one era.
I miss the physical nature of it, the way guys really competed versus today, where you do see a lot of the guys are friends, or they've been playing against each other since high school, but they've also been playing with each other since high school, and that didn't exist. So now you see guys like Jordan, Bird, and Magic, they're friends now, but you would have never thought they were friends then.
MLS champs Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on The Morning Rush on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Babe, where are my keys?
Where's my lunch?
Where's my phone? Hey, where's my blue shirt?
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie!
No.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm gonna be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alert.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'm gonna do. No, my movement ain't fading. You could assume what the doing was great.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A Scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
All right, I think we're ready to wrap it up tonight.
We are. We've had a good night here on the Big 36, haven't we?
Every night is a great night on the Big 36. It is, of course, where news is king. We'll see you tomorrow night.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Chess.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't
Chesley.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
finish. We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning. I'm learning the taste of water because I'm sugary.
Okay,
right.
about that.
Well, reward would be
Slimming down. Okay,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
a little water in my
yes.
cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Blog on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's FRANCESCA AMIKER, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these 2 hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibes. When you vibe with it, it's a good time. We don't worry about the hate, we just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hints. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think.